Hey everybody, it's Shannon from alphatrends.net. Today's Friday, the 9th of October 2020, and last week we saw constructive action in the market, and this week we built upon that and had some spectacular gains. So let's take a look at the charts and see how it's going to play out. We have, of course, a rising 5-day moving average. On Tuesday, we had a pullback due to that tweet, and the market quickly absorbed that and continued on to recovery highs. That is, recovery from this prior peak. And of course, once we got above that volume weighted average price that had flattened out, it indicated to us that the buyers were back in control of the intermediate term trend, and they maintain control of that trend. It's getting a little bit extended to the upside, but it doesn't mean you want to be bearish. It means raise your stops, be more selective in the individual stocks you're getting involved in. There's some spectacular setups. This week on Twitter, I'd outlined a number of big winners. iRobot at the beginning of the week, I put on there when it was $79 per share. It got up to over $90 per share. I put on SPT at $38 per share. It got up to 47 and change. You can see on Twitter also that I had mentioned SDC at 11.85. It got up to 12 and a half. These moves have been happening a lot, and using the volume weighted average price allows us to take very low amount of risk. GRWG, I had mentioned this one, I think it was Wednesday morning at $16.85 or so. It went to 18.05. Yesterday I put DADA on there at 27.37. Today it got up to $31 per share. If you're not following me on Twitter, I don't know what to tell you. The shares of the NASDAQ broke beyond this prior little peak and also had a great week. It looks like they're headed for 295 to 300 once again. The Russell 2000 continues to power higher right through what could have been resistance. So again, this was a level of interest. We never look at it and say it is resistance because we only know till after the fact whether or not it is resistance. And you can see here that this market continued to power higher. The semiconductors, of course, are in a new all-time high territory. And the reason to watch this group is because they lead the rest of the market. And with higher highs and higher lows at all-time highs, yes, we're extended, but only a fool would sell short up here. The biotechs are continuing to move higher as well. They look like they're headed for all-time highs. And even the lowly financials had a decent week. They do still have a declining 200-day moving average, but look how they bounced from the volume-weighted average price from that March low. There's still an underperformer overall, but there's market strength everywhere. Today we saw in Apple that this stock is looking like it's ready to get going once again and continue to new all-time highs, or at least test these old highs, I guess I should say. I don't want to get people too excited about it, but we are back above the volume weighted average price from the peak. We're also looking at, strength in stocks like Microsoft getting back above the volume weighted average price from the peak and making a higher high. All these stocks look like they should be able to continue to move higher. PayPal is one that I've got my eye on for next week, maybe a slight pullback and then it goes. These are the types of ideas I outline every single day for subscribers to Alpha Trends. I'm going to keep today's video super short and wish you a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in.